So one of the biggest comments that I get is, how do you have so much positivity or so much energy, or how are you just so happy all the time? Now I can tell you, I am not always happy all the time. That just doesn't, I'm not always happy, but there definitely are some self-care habits that I incorporate into my life. And when I incorporate these things, I see an influx of joy, of positivity, of calm and peace. And I want to share them with you today. So friend, welcome back. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe and hit the like button so that you can see more of my content. I post every single week on how we can live unapologetic and authentic lives. Okay, so how do we develop self-care habits for more joy and positivity in our lives? Tip number 1 is to stop comparing ourselves to other people. I know this is something that we hear all the time, but do we really understand how to stop? Because right now we're in a realm with social media where comparing ourselves is just so easy to do. And even outside of social media, it's still extremely easy to do. But the comparison mindset is actually coming from a place of lack. See, I listened to a podcast a few years ago, and the girl on the podcast was talking about how she was actually fearful of starting that podcast just because she was thinking, there's so many other podcasts around. There's so many other people around that are doing the same thing, that want to do this. Why me? Why would people why should I start something like this? And you can be thinking the same thing. Why should you start your business? Why should you start a new YouTube channel? Why should you try to go after your dream? Why should you do any of that stuff? They're doing it and they're doing it that way, and I'm not like them, so why should I even try? And what she said in it is stuck with me even to this day. She said, can there ever be too much light and positivity in this world? Can there ever be too much positivity in this world? And the answer is no. Just because somebody else is succeeding and doing well does not take anything from us. Everything that we need to accomplish, the things that we need to accomplish, is already inside of us. The only person that is stopping us is us. So it's not somebody else doing well. It's not somebody else achieving. It's actually somebody else achieving is a step stool for us to get to that level. But it's not going to stop us from doing it. We're the only one that can do that. So let's stop comparing ourselves. That is a habit that will bring us so much more joy and positivity into our lives. Habit number 2 is to set healthy boundaries. Now, this can be healthy boundaries with people, with actual activities. I know for myself, it is both. I am a recovering, because I have not fully recovered yet, people pleaser. I love to please people, and usually the person that suffers is myself. It can be very hard to say no to certain things. There are certain boundaries that we need to set in our lives that say, no, you matter too. And I'm gonna care for you. I'm gonna give you things that you need in order to thrive and to live an intentional life. So how do we do that? It comes from knowing that we have a choice. We have a choice of what comes into our space, of what we allow into this box, of what we allow into our minds, and what we allow into our hearts. We have a choice. Something is not healthy for us. We have a choice to say, I am not going to allow that into my mind today. I know what I need to stay positive, healthy, and joyful. Setting boundaries is a big part of that. Number 3, take something that you actually love doing and give yourself permission to do it. So this past week, I was a little bit overwhelmed with just dealing with work, but also dealing with all the things that I actually wanted to work on. I told my sister about it, and she gave me an advice to take 30 minutes and intentionally do something that I want to do. Not something that I have to do, or not even spending that 30 minutes just wasting time, but take that time, that 30 minutes or an hour, and do something intentional that you want to do. Maybe that's watching a movie. Maybe you love being around your pet, your dog. Maybe that's something that brings you joy and just makes you feel calm. Taking that time and doing something we enjoy would actually make us even more productive when we have to go back to the task that we're doing. Self-care is so important. Habit number 4, prioritize your health. Okay, so I am actually lactose intolerant. I can't eat anything with milk or dairy, but I know that, right? Like, I know that I shouldn't be eating things with dairy because, it bothers my stomach, but does that always stop me? Not always, but do I always regret it after? Oh yes, always regret it. Why do we put things into our body when we know it does not support us? It does not make us feel as alive or as healthy or as vibrant. And we know it doesn't, but we tend to do it anyway. But just be cautious. Maybe cut down on the sugar intake that you're taking, or maybe just literally means listening to our body. What is our body telling us that we should be eating versus we shouldn't be eating? My body might be different than your body, and maybe you can take dairy and I can't, or maybe I can take having a cup of lemonade okay with my dinner, but whenever you do it, you just don't feel right. Like the sugar rush is just too much for you. Listen to your body like that. There's so many times that I've neglected to listen to my body that have caused me to literally be in a slump for the rest of the day. There's no way you can be positive and filled with joy and filled with calm and peace if you are in a slump sitting on your couch for the whole day. There's just no way. There's no way. Or sitting on the toilet for the whole day. There's just no way. You're just not. No, there's just no way. So we have to develop healthy habits, healthy eating habits, and healthy mindset habits. Okay, so now my fifth tip is to start a gratitude practice and an optimism practice. So having a glass half full mindset versus a glass half empty mindset. Because at the end of the day, it all comes down to perspective. It is the same thing. In both of these glasses, it is the same amount of water or milk. It's the same amount. But someone can look at this one, the glass half full, and see that there's plenty, that there's abundance, that there's so much in there. And someone can look at this one and say, oh my gosh, like who just drank all that milk? Like there's nothing left in this glass. Oh my gosh, like I have nothing left. Which one do you see? It all comes down to perspective. So think about a situation with you. Maybe it is a situation with family and friends, or maybe it is a situation at work. Like think about it. What could be good about the situation? About me having an overload of tasks at work to do right now? Could it be the fact that, wow, thank you, God, that I actually even have a job? Or, wow, the fact that they're even trusting me with this responsibility, I mean, they think that I could actually do this, that's huge. Oh, snap, I'm actually learning how to be a leader right now. Like, they're putting all of this stuff on me, but I'm in charge of this team. And last year, this time, I was never in charge of a team. And I'm actually learning how to do that now. That's amazing. Yeah, it's a lot, but that's pretty good. What is the half glass full version of the situation that you might be in right now? Number 6 is do something outside of yourself kind for other people. And I know that might seem weird. Like, how is that a self-care tip? Like, other people, why is that? How is that caring for myself? But think about this. How many times have you at Christmas bought something for somebody else and you've gotten so much more excited to give that person a gift than you were to receive the gift from that person? How many times has that happened? I know for me that has. I am so excited to see that person open that gift. I'm so excited to give it to them. That is how we've been created, to give of ourselves. When we give to other people, we are so blessed in return. We're so filled with joy in return. And I know that it is not just me. That is how we are created as humans. We are meant to give of ourselves. I want to read a quote to you, and it says, love and kindness is never wasted. They always make a difference. They bless the one who receives them, and they bless you, the giver. So I'm gonna leave you with that. If you're ever looking for a way to boost your positivity, to boost your joy, to boost your calm, if you're ever looking for any habits to build, give to other people. I promise you, you will sense an immediate change and difference in your life. So those are the 6 self-care habits that I have for you guys. Comment below and let me know which of these self-care habits you'll be including in your life to increase your joy and positivity. Let me know below. I am so excited you guys have been here with me today. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys again in the next one. Until then, bye guys.